It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So for this week's video, it is going to be a what sold video, and what has sold in my eBay store? Quite a few things. It was a good week, slightly above average. I don't have much to complain about, so I'm going to highlight some of the items that I've sold since my last what sold video, which wasn't too long ago. So you can see that I've had quite a few things sell, so let's get into it. First off, we have a pair of Crocs. These are sort of special edition Wednesday Addams Crocs. I literally just got these the other day. I paid $25 for them. They came from TJ Maxx, and I was able to flip them very quickly for $70. So that was a great find. Next, we have an American Girl doll. I got this at a garage sale for $8, and she sold for $31. Didn't sell as quick as I would have expected. Had to kind of lower the price a little bit, but she's off to a new home. Next, we have a pair of G-Star pants. I bought these while I was in Winnipeg, up in Canada. I paid around $10 for them, and they sold for $43. Next, we have a Jim Shore figure. I just got this figure. I mentioned it in my last video, and I paid $10 for this at a rummage sale, and it sold very quickly for $90. It was a rare one, so definitely a good one to find. Next, this is a vintage toy. These Disney play tiles. I literally paid 80 cents for these, and I sold them for $23.98. So that was a nice little flip. Next, we have a pair of Uggs. These are those trendy Uggs that so many people wore last year. So I bought these for $30, knowing I could flip them for much more because they're brand new. So I sold them for $82. Had to go through the summer without being sold, which is kind of what I figured would happen, but they're gone now. Next, this is an IntelliGlobe, kind of a bolo of sorts. Now, I paid $4 for this. I expected to get more money for this. Unfortunately, the pen that comes with it that makes it work wouldn't hold a charge. So unfortunately, it was, kind of broken. So I could have sold it for almost twice this if it worked. So this globe is definitely a good thing to find, but I did sell it for $40, and I was honestly happy to sell it for that. I was afraid I'd have to go lower than that. So yay for that. Next, we have kind of a random item, a badminton racket. I got this for free off of someone's curb during our fall cleanup. I'd had it in a previous video. It took a little while to sell, but it did finally sell for $19. Next, we have this nice North Face jacket. This was brand new. I had paid $15 for it at Goodwill. I was kind of surprised Goodwill didn't charge more for that for a brand new North Face, since it charges that for used North Face jackets often. But I was happy, and I turned around and sold it for $57, which was probably kind of a good deal. But, when you get an item, for a good enough deal, you can flip it for a good deal for the buyer too, and then everybody's happy. Next, now this item I have to explain a little bit. So this was a great find. This is a vintage Joe Namath football game, and it was not complete, but it had quite a few parts of it, and the game board works, which is good because not all of them do at this age. And I had a person message me and ask if I would just sell them the little football guys, and that they would pay me $50 for those, and then I could sell the board, for whatever else. I think probably close to another $50. And I had it listed for $90. So I was like, you know what? I paid $10 for this whole thing. So sure, let's do that. So it looks like it sold for $40, but it's because I had $15 on shipping. We had to kind of finagle some things to make the deal work. Once you send an offer to somebody, eBay doesn't allow you to send another one. If they haven't accepted or declined it, it becomes more of a challenge. So That was how we ended up doing it. Then next we have a Halloween hanging display here. This was another one that I got when Party City was closing down. Paid very little for it because everything was 80-90% off. I probably paid around $5 for it, and I sold it for $36. Next, we have these Tokidoki Unicorno lot. I mentioned these in a previous video as well. Kind of one of those newer toys you can make some money on. They're blind bag style. So, people want certain ones. I paid $5 for these guys in a bag, turned around, sold them for $40. Next, we have an Ertl tractor. This was marked as a baby toy, and they had it priced at $2.99 at the thrift store, which is very unusual because this thrift store is usually very much on their game about these kind of things. These are collectibles, but yeah, $3 I got it for just recently. I think, again, I underpriced it a little bit, but I was still happy with selling it for $26. It's over what I, like to make it minimum. So was happy with that. But this was a newer one. There's some vintage ones that, sell for a lot more money. So just kind of a heads up on that. Those tractors can be big, big money. Next, we have this McDonald's Christmas Village that I got not that long ago also. I paid $10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think I paid $20 for that. And then I was able to flip it for $50. Next, this was an exciting find for me because it's one of those bolos I knew to be on the lookout for. This is a Stewie golf club head cover, and I thought it was a puppet at first, and it was not a puppet. It was it was for golf clubs, but I still knew that there was this Stewie plush variation that sells for a lot of money, and it turns out it's a golf club cover. So I paid $5 for it, sold it for $67. It went overseas. Next, this shirt I had for a long time, had a lot of interest in it, but just nobody was biting. And I finally sold it. I had to keep lowering the price, but I paid $1 for the shirt, sold it for $24. Next, we have a Lisa Frank figure. This is a vintage figure. And I had got this in a lot of other small toys, which I was already in the green for. And this turned out to be the big value item in there. Wouldn't have thought so at first. I thought it was Bratz, actually, when I looked at it. But lo and behold, Lisa Frank. So that was a surprise, a good one. And I sold this for $45. Next, we have a Mr. Bigglesworth plush. I mentioned this in a previous video, and I was so excited to find him. He had a broken tail, but this is a very rare plush. Broken as in not there. His tail was missing. So I sold him for $45. If he had his tail, probably could have gone, in the mid to high 50s, but still was happy to sell it even without a tail. So that was fantastic. And it went to New York to some very fancy looking address. So yeah. That's pretty cool. Next, we have a Land's End vest. I paid $5 for this at Goodwill. Again, brand new item. The Goodwill price surprisingly low. And one thing I want to mention is be on the lookout for vests, because it's not always about brand with vests. Because if you're looking for a super warm vest, now this was a 600 down vest, which is a very warm, toasty vest. And the price, even on a brand like Land's End, that's not super high end, used to be kind of, but not anymore. But a brand like Land's End, you can sell a 600 down vest for $35 new, so the money is there, but Goodwill didn't price it up because they're like, oh, it's Land's End, who cares? But yeah, brand new Land's End vest was, able to make some money on it. Next, we have a Pendleton sweater. I got this at a garage sale for $3. Just sold that jacket not too long ago. Now we got a Pendleton sweater that I sold. It's that time of year to buy your Pendletons. This is definitely kind of an older folks style sweater, but there's something for everybody out there. So we don't have to just appeal to young people, right? There's people of all ages on eBay. So sold that for $33. And who knows what's old is new nowadays. Maybe it's going to a 20-year-old. I don't know. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? Please, please do. I'd love to get my subscriber count up. Tell people about this channel too, as well. If you haven't, share it with others, because there's such great information on here. I just want anybody that could use it to know it. So definitely like and subscribe if you haven't. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Again, my name is Melanie. This channel's name is Crow's Thrifty Finds, and I will see you next week.